as a knight in white armor. Cold as a shot from a gun. If you should look for a man who loves danger, to whom love is a stranger, this man is the one.
Well, apart from a new set of big ends, I've not spent a penny on her. Actually, she's more like, a good chum than a car. But you know, I really think I shouldn't.
Calm now, Mr. Staff.
Yeah, well, jolly good. Cheers. I must say I've been trying to place this all evening.
Then stop. Our potion is blended to free the mind, not to shackle it with the unimportant.
Chin-chin, then. I must say, it makes one feel quite,
Amorous?
Quite.
Then drink deep, Mr. Staff. We're here to share those things so many of us yearn to share, and yet dare not.
Jolly funny weather.
Have you prepared your oath?
Oh, indeed. Rather strong stuff.
Strong?
Unconventional, then.
When convention is rejected, all is pleasure.
Yes.
Was it not your wish to join the Brotherhood?
Well, yes.
Have you not enjoyed your visits?
Yes, it's also so terribly stimulating.
Tonight is your night, Mr. Staff. Look, the elements are giving their consent.
The High Priest. I am the ear of the Great One. We are gathered together for the furtherance of our Lord's work. Brothers, we are gathered together for the introduction of a new member. Who has chosen to introduce the initiate? I have. Then bring him to me. What is your name?
Henry George Stafford.
Your brotherhood name?
Brother Ram.
I bid you welcome, Brother Ram. It gladdens us that you have chosen to devote your life to the furtherance of our cause, to the worship of our Lord. Nima! Soon you will take the oath. But first, we must offer thanks to the Great One who has seen fit to bring you to us. Blood is the source of life. Blood is the source of life. It is the ultimate sacrifice.
It is the ultimate sacrifice.
For you, Brother Ram, we make that sacrifice. Lucifer, Prince of Darkness, accept our humble offering.
It's impossible.
I'm afraid we have evidence.
It's preposterous. I knew the man's family.
Charming people.
There was never a hint of scandal.
Until now.
I was at school with his father. Grandfather.
Really?
Yes, he was a charming chap. He was captain of cricket, you know. Always used to walk.
Walk?
Before the umpire raised his finger. Went on to play for the county.
Yes, well, it would appear his grandson is batting in a somewhat different league. 1, 2, buckle my shoe.
I beg your pardon?
3, 4, knock at the door.
What exactly are you doing, Minister?
I'm trying to record our conversation.
For posterity?
No, for the typing pool. It's a ministry regulation. Any conversation regarding security has to be set down with 3 copies.
Thereby increasing the risk of theft thrice-fold.
Good Lord. I wonder if they've thought of that. On the other hand, it's probably the example of DI6 doublethink.
I beg your pardon?
You know, confuse the enemy and all that.
No, I...
Yes? Ah, speak of the devil.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Minister. I was under
Not
the
at all,
impression...
not at all. We've just been discussing your department. Denton here is with security. Fine chap.
The Kenya reports.
Oh, jolly good. You know Adamant?
By repute only, I'm afraid. Mr. Adamant.
Yourself.
We've been discussing, you know who?
Indeed.
Adamant here knows the family.
Ah.
He's naturally concerned as to the implications.
More than concerned, Minister.
As indeed we all are. However...
Yes, yes, quite.
Well, if you'll excuse me, Minister. Mr. Adamant.
You say you have proof.
Only one man in this building could have leaked that information. Staton.
Well, that's hardly proof, but meat enough to unleash the hounds of vengeance. You realize this scandal will kill his mother.
That's all very depressing, but if the man is a traitor...
Yes, of course, I do understand. I can hardly believe your accusations, but the country must come first. I shall do all I can. Small wonder you were having trouble. The machine, sir, is foreign.
Hi.
Might I ask what you're doing here, Miss Jones?
Trying to get something out of my eye.
Ah, please, please allow me, would you? Thank you.
I saw the car.
With your good eye, I presume?
This happened while I was waiting.
Then I trust you will draw the moral, Miss Jones.
What's the scene?
Scene?
Well, what were you doing in there?
Please, please, hold still, will you? Ah, I don't think that's any concern of yours, Miss Jones.
Ah, come on, now give. I'm in the Ministry of Sing. Something must be cooking.
Would you rotate your eyeball?
Oh, kinky.
Better?
Mm-hmm.
Then I shall bid you good day.
Why so pale and wan?
I am somewhat depressed, Miss Jones.
Can I help?
Thank you, but I doubt it.
Try me.
Well, the word traitor plunges me into the slough of despond, particularly when it is associated with a family whose name I hold in the utmost respect.
Then something is cooking.
A meal is being made of something, certainly.
I'm ahead of you. A touch of the salome.
I beg your pardon?
Well, someone's head is being served up on a plate, and you're down because you don't dig it.
I wonder if you'd be so kind as to consult the street directory, Miss Jones.
Where to?
Archer Street, Highgate.
Oh, I know it.
Well, perhaps you would be kind enough to direct me there.
I'll do better than that. I'll show you.
You will kindly remain seated, Mr. Holmes.
Nat.
Defend yourself or die.
You could help me, Mr. Sims.
I'll do my best, miss.
How do you spell sycophantic?
The sick of what?
Fantic. Fan as in pop concert, tick as in mattress.
I don't know the word.
s1e8
Ah.
Thank you.
A communication, miss?
Yes, to my great aunt. She sent me a premium bond.
Ah, letter writing's a dying art. Now, in my day...
Surely in your day, people hacked out messages with a chisel.
Oh, very droll, very witty. Is that better, sir?
Yes, thank you. That's excellent, sir. Pearmain Hall.
It's in Hertfordshire.
One of the stately homes of England. Cue for a song, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you, Sims. You know, this card is an invitation to spend a weekend at Pearmain Hall as the personal guest of Lord Rufus Pearman. I took it from that blackguard's pocket.
So?
Well, it's addressed to Henry Stratton for the last week in June. Now, if the murderer saw fit to steal it, we may assume it is of paramount importance.
Pearmain Hall, here we come.
My dear Miss Jones, your statement is as inaccurate as your pitch. Sims!
Sir!
A weekend bag, Sims.
Right away, sir.
Pearmain Hall. Do you know I haven't been there for, what, some 70 years? After the roar of London, the quiet dignity of one of our ancient seats will be more than welcome. Extraordinary ship.
Note the fine example of 16th century enamel glass. The silver fireplace. The masterpiece by Lenotti, a miracle of perspective. Note also the Carolean needlework basket, the Elizabethan and Stuart paneling. The upholstery to the chairs was embroidered by the second Lady Pearman. Now, this room contains 4 centuries of furniture, china, tapestries, and paintings. The windows provide a fine view of the grounds, which were landscaped by Capability Brown. Any questions? The family mausoleum adjoins the south wing. Any more questions? The toilets are on the far side of the grand hall. Any more questions? The plumbing is, of course, mid-20th century.
Yes.
No more questions?
No.
Well, then, if you care to move through into the Grand Hall, you'll find the entrance to the Weapons and Costume Museum, which will be of particular interest to the children. But no dogs, I'm afraid. Thank you.
That's interesting.
You seem lost.
Slightly bewildered, madam.
Which party are you with?
Well, I'm a liberal, madam.
I'm glad. There are so few of us left.
Forgive me, but is all this an everyday occurrence?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 10 till 5. The rest of the week, we have the place to ourselves.
Ourselves?
I'm Esther Canfield, Lord Pearman's fiancée.
Allow me to introduce myself. Adamant, at your service.
You seem very interested in our home, Mr. Adamant.
Oh, I am, madam. I am. You see, I convalesced here myself during the Boer War. Tell me, is the present Lord Rufus in residence?
We have private chambers.
Ah.
Perhaps you'd care to meet my fiancé.
Well, I can hardly intrude upon
He'd
his...
be delighted to meet you. Rufus collects new faces as other men collect butterflies.
With a different method of mounting, madam, I trust.
He finds people stimulating.
Then I shall endeavor to stimulate.
Yes.
I believe...
I'll be with you in one moment.
Hi. I'm what they call a menial, below ground. Look at it like working undercover in an apron. I'm off at 9. I'll see you outside. Ciao.
If you're ready, Mr. Adamant.
Yes, madam, I am just coming. Yourself.
Such devastatingly honest little creatures, don't you think?
Black ghosts. I know very little of them.
Well, that's the tragedy of man, to know so very little of anything.
tries.
He does indeed. Esther tells me that you've been here before, Mr. Adamant.
Yes. Yes, many years ago.
You must have seen some changes.
Change is often equated with progress. In this case,
Yes, it is rather sad, isn't it? However, without those little half-crowns, this place would just crumble into dust. The wood weevil is fearfully energetic.
You must find it very difficult to live under such reduced circumstances.
One tries.
Perhaps you could tell me exactly why the carousel in the rose garden.
It's what we call an attraction.
Appalling, isn't it?
Well, I'd hardly have thought it was necessary. If one comes to see history, surely...
Ah, but the great majority of people who come here hope to gain something spiritually. Since most of them are quite incapable of gaining anything at all, they feel cheated. The zoo and the fun fair are there to rectify the situation.
I believe we have a mutual friend.
Oh?
Henry Statton?
I don't believe I...
You remember Rufus, darling? He came here one weekend.
Oh, Statton. Yes.
Hardly a friend, Mr. Adamant, an acquaintance.
Ah.
Charming man. Such a tragedy.
Tragedy?
His unfortunate death.
You know that?
Why, yes. Shouldn't I?
I didn't realize his death had been made public.
Hardly public, Mr. Adamant.
A friend telephoned us.
I see.
Ah, tea.
My dear Miss Jones.
I had a quick look round while I was dusting this morning, and there's a sort of instrument panel hidden in a book.
Instrument panel.
Yes, sort of knobs and dials and things. I'll have a go at it as soon as they're out of the way.
You realize I abhor your interference in this affair.
Oh, when you say things like that, I go all warm and cuddly.
Would you please remember, Miss Jones, that great care is called for.
Oh, Natch. Oh, there's something else as well. The Monk's Hill Chapel, or whatever it is. It's not in the visitor's guidebook. The servants are forbidden to go near it. They keep it locked.
Interesting.
Not doing so badly for a serving wench, am I?
Then I suggest you return to your post before your master notices your absence.
I'll let you know if I find anything.
Miss Jones, great care.
Oh, thanks awfully, Mr. Adamant.
My dear fellow, I find your excuses both pathetic and boring. The plain fact is that you let me down. You sent a boy to do a man's job, and the net result is the appearance of this man, Adamant. Quiet. Thank you. Now, let me put it to you simply. We cannot afford to have the man snooping around with another meeting so close at hand. You will have to deal with him. And please try to get a glimmer of efficiency into your messy little life. Our Whitehall friend is becoming a problem.
You were too rough, darling. He needs to be treated gently, like a kitten.
So I'm sure you're right. It is a worry, though. I don't suppose you'd be going up to the big city tomorrow by any chance, would you?
Why not? I have some shopping to do anyway.
Good. I hope this chap Fowley is the right choice.
He's on the inside with the Research Council and dying to sample our weekend activities.
Yes, pity we had to get rid of Statton. He'd have kept us supplied for months.
So will Charles Fowley, darling. Don't worry. I've checked him out, and he's definitely right for our brotherhood.
Look, it's never easy, Esther, so don't be so casual. We'd never have got Statton that far if he hadn't been convinced it was a game.
I said Fowley will be fine. He'll get his invitation tomorrow, and he's already made it very clear that he'll come. The fool thinks we're just having an orgy.
And Adamant?
I wonder if he could be converted.
Adamant? No.
Such a terrible waste.
Isn't it?
He's very masculine.
But far too inquisitive.
Pity.
The world is very cruel.
Yes. Bye-byes?
Soon.
Yes. I knew a peer of the realm once. A real gentleman. Treated me like a dog, he did.
How very interesting.
Oh, well, sir, these little experiences are all part of life's great pattern.
There's a history of Satanism in the family since.
Oh.
It appears they have their roots in evil soil. The present Lord Rufus' father expired under strange circumstances. He died of fright, Sims. Black magic, the worship of Lucifer.
We had a woman once on tour, said she was a witch. Always knocking out potions in the dressing room. Fatima, her name was. Nice little artiste. Coloratura soprano, contortionist, and fire eater. Every full moon, she used to dance about on the end of the pier, singing in Yiddish. Couldn't speak a word of it in other times. That must have meant something. She married a vicar at East Grinstead.
Any family that practices such evil rites is capable of anything, even betraying its country.
No, you can't be sure they're at it, sir, just because the book says there's a bit of it in the family.
Pieces in a jigsaw, Sims, pieces in a jigsaw. And they are beginning to fall into place.
Well, I don't know about that. Miss Jones is with them, sir.
Exactly. And that is a matter of grave concern. If she is discovered, God knows what practices she may be subjected to.
Your cocoa, my lord.
Are you happy with us, Jones?
Oh, yes, my lord. Ever so.
I'm glad. You're looking very attractive this evening.
So long as I'm of service, my lord.
Oh, yes, indeed. I think you'll serve admirably for the purpose I have in mind. Don't you agree, Esther?
But I thought all that gubbins was a thing of the past.
Some men search constantly for purity, others for evil. Their activities may be clandestine, but they are not extinct.
Say, look here, not Lord Rufus.
There is a history of Satanism in every third generation of the family.
All right, Adam, and suppose I do accept your findings. How the dickens does this involve poor old Staton?
That is a matter that I shall have to pursue. But the first word that springs to my mind is blackmail.
Yes.
Good morning. You wanted to see our file on Lord Pearmain. I can assure you he's by no means a security risk.
I'm delighted to hear it. Ah, allow me.
No, no.
Adamant here is the rather bizarre notion that
I
Staton was...
should prefer my notions to remain undisclosed, Minister.
And Denton here is with DI6.
In that case, you will be the first to understand, Mr. Denton.
It seems I have no alternative. Minister?
How many peas in a pod? How insecure is a security man?
Eh?
Does it not strike you as odd, Minister, that within 1 hour of my being brought here to discuss the unfortunate Staton, he was found dead?
You're late, James.
I had problems with the minister. Look, Esther, you know how dangerous it is meeting here.
Only if you persist in looking like the poor man's double agent. Anyway, this Adamant business is urgent.
Do you think I don't know that? I've just left him with the minister.
Have you now? What's he been saying?
I don't know. He practically said I wasn't to be trusted. He's too close. Far too close.
Exactly.
Oh, no. You must find somebody else.
There isn't anyone else. At least, not with your experience. Think of it, darling. Today, Adamant suspects. Tomorrow, he may be sure. Remove him now, and we're all back in business.
Why don't we just let everything drop for a few months? Let him try as much as he will.
I'm afraid we can't. Fowley's all arranged for the weekend.
But that's madness.
Do be careful, darling.
I'm sorry.
I know it's most unfortunate, But Fowley's too good to miss, especially since we lost Staton.
But Adamant isn't going to be all that easy. He's as deadly as that sword he carries.
And just as outdated. All it needs is a bullet. Let him try to parry that.
But he already suspects...
And don't forget, my dear, that Rufus doesn't have my patience. He's quite likely to leave the wrong film lying around.
As I said to David, by the time Verity's whelp, we should have a full pack. If not, well, we'll just have to scour the country until we find them.
So much more interesting than holiday snouts, don't you agree?
Good evening, Mr. Denton.
You had to interfere, didn't you? You had to interfere.
And you had orders to kill.
What else?
So you two are in their clutches. The blackmailer spins his evil web.
I didn't know it would be like this. I swear it.
That is the weakness of the flesh, Mr. Denton. They lure you into their fiendish ways, they compromise you, and then they destroy you. Is that not the pattern?
I tell you, I didn't know.
There can be no excuses for a man who betrays his country.
Maybe so. But you'll never live to tell them how.
If you cannot live like a man, you can at least die like one. Weekend bag, Sims, to include my evening clothes.
The grey again, sir?
Perhaps you should come with me, Sims. I may need a runner.
No, it's very civil of you, sir, but since we have the plumber coming tomorrow to see about that pipe, one of us ought to be here, and I could hardly ask you.
Have no fear, Sims. Have no fear. I take your point.
Fear, sir? Me, sir?
If only Miss Jones had 1 ounce of your prudence, Sims. If those fiends lay so much as a finger on her.
Oh, she'll be all right, sir. She's probably hanging around, waiting for something to happen.
Here. What happens now? Now I know. You run away and hide, and I count up to 100, and then I come and find you, eh?
I'm glad you're amused.
I try and find the funny side to everything, my lord. I mean, you've got to, haven't you? I mean, what's life without its little laughs?
I only hope that you'll think it just as funny in a few hours' time. Come, Esther.
Yeah, what's going to happen now?
You're being invited to a party. Guest of honor, in fact.
And I haven't got a thing to wear.
Has Fowley said anything?
Enough. He really is quite interesting. Can't think why we didn't try him before.
I'm talking about the ritual, Esther. Will he play?
I think so. All our guests are brief. The atmosphere is conducive. Yes, he'll play.
Good.
Mr. Adamant, what a delicious surprise.
My dear Miss Canfield, I do hope you don't mind. I received my invitation from another mutual friend of ours, a Mr. Denton.
Denton?
Yes, I'm afraid he's been unavoidably detained. Alas, somewhat permanently, I believe.
How sad. Do you know anyone here?
No, madam, I'm afraid I don't. Though, of course, I recognize several distinguished faces. Is not that gentleman, for example, a member of the Research Council?
No, I believe he is. You must meet him, Mr. Adams.
I shall be delighted, Miss Captain. Excuse me.
Extraordinarily pleasant couple.
Yes, aren't they? Tell me, have you been here before?
Oh, not as a guest. I suppose I should feel rather flattered.
Really? Why?
Well, Rufus is well known for being rather choosy with his guests.
I see. Then we should all feel flattered, sir.
Tell me, have you any idea what's in store for us later?
Later?
I understand these parties become a little unconventional. Rather looking forward to it, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yes, I think I do. Will you excuse me, sir?
Yes,
What can I get you?
Nothing for the moment.
Oh, thank you.
May I ask you a question?
Please.
Last time I was here, I left a rather fine pair of kid gloves behind.
Shame.
I reported the loss to a serving girl of yours, a Miss Jones, I believe.
She didn't say anything.
Well, may I have a word with her?
She was dismissed this very morning.
Ah.
Completely unreliable and totally untrustworthy. You know, you'll probably find that she took your gloves with her when she went. Oh, excuse me.
Don't just stand there, do something!
wish you'd tell me.
You'll find out soon enough, Mr. Fowler.
Charles.
Charles.
Oh, I know. We're going to play games.
Whatever we play, you'll enjoy it.
If I may say so, you're a very attractive woman.
Thank you.
Rufus a damn lucky fella.
He doesn't have me under exclusive contract.
It's almost midnight.
And poor Mr. Adamant wandering without success.
Yes. Do you think perhaps I should go and light a candle for him?
Perhaps you should.
Excuse me.
Another part of the game?
A very important part.
Jones.
Ah, so you do know each other. I'm so glad. I find formal introductions so very boring, don't you agree?
Is this the way to treat an innocent child?
Spare the rod and spoil the child's spine.
You swine.
You know, you almost upset the balance of a very fine and lucrative operation.
Blackmailing hedonistic swine into betraying their country.
There's no secret so small that it won't fetch a few shillings, given the right buyer, of course. Frankly, I think my country owes it to me. I've been shackled to this mouldering heap of British heritage for far too long. One has one's standards, don't you agree? And let's face it, this green and pleasant isle isn't really up to it anymore.
Your country owes you nothing, sir. You are the servant of your country. God save the Queen.
Point taken. How very appropriate that you should die for your queen and country. I hope you're obliged to me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have guests.
Damn in! Do what you will with me, but the girl has no part in this.
Oh, have no fear. Miss Jones will be put to quite a different use. Oh, yes, indeed. Help! Don't waste your breath shouting. No one will hear you.
How can I apologize, Miss Jones?
I shouldn't have interfered.
No, I should have taken you out of this pit of Satan the moment I smelt danger.
What now?
We must escape.
Please! I've got the feeling they're lining up something terrible for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will prepare yourselves, we will commence the more interesting part of the evening.
Everything's ready.
Bring the girl. And Adamant?
You shall watch him die after the meeting.
Do you need any help, Charles?
Yes, please.
Unhanger, you blackguard!
Yeah, rather an extra spot.
She is being prepared.
Friend Fowley,
Well primed. Camera set up?
set up and eager to record his indiscretions.
Look at him. Drunk and stupid.
He'll look even more stupid tomorrow when we show him the film.
That part I enjoy.
The girl.
You have 1 minute to tell me where that girl is. Hey!
I, Roshani, am the ear of the Great One. We are gathered together for the furtherance of our Lord's work. Brothers, we have a traitor in our midst. Our Lord has seen fit to show us this. Therefore, we offer our thanks in the way most fitting to his desires. Give me music. The Great One has spoken and has demanded vengeance. Vengeance! We are thy servants, O Lucifer. Accept the blood of this infidel.
Time has come for the devil to take his own.
I suppose he used that film I saw to blackmail them.
Well, what more vicious snare than witness to a ritual killing?
And I was next on the block.
A memento, Miss Jones?
Oh, as Sims would say, if you're going to go out with a gag.
Yes, I don't quite follow you.
No, you're not the sort, Mr. Adamant.
Well, perhaps you would explain it to me.
It's what they call a play on words.
The devil it is.
Hey, wait for me.
I'm afraid you'll be here for quite some time, Miss Jones. You see, all the rest of the staff were involved in varying degrees, so I'm afraid that you alone are responsible for Pearmain Hall.
You can't do that! Hey, Mr. Adamant!
Are our two worlds so far apart? Reaching for your heart was reaching for a star. Is it that I arrived too late? Instrument of fate? Is that all you are in one simple breath? You may think he's a charmer, but death is the life he has known. If you want love and your years filled with laughter and content ever after, leave this man alone. Leave this man alone.